That's hilarious. Hey guys, Brandon here with Texas Plinking, finally doing the review on the Bushmaster ACR. This is a rifle I picked up fairly recently, within the last month actually. And in the order I made the videos, I did an unboxing video showing you all the components and all that stuff it comes with. Then I did a first impressions kind of range day, just plinking around. Then I did an accuracy test going for groupings on paper. Then I did a long range shooting demonstration, and I did all those in separate videos. And this review video is going to be kind of compiling all of that, and then again talking about some more impressions since I've had some more time with this. As well as just doing a field strip and all that good stuff, all within this video. So anyway, first things first, just want to make sure it is clear, mag's empty, all of that good stuff. So I've taken this thing out to the range enough times to really get a good feel for it, and I can tell you guys just how much I like it. I guess the title of this video will be something along the lines of, obviously, Bushmaster ACR review, but something along the lines of, should you buy one? Should you buy a Bushmaster ACR? And really, this isn't meant to be a hard yes or no or answer in this video, although I would probably say yes. It's just really meant to give you guys a new perspective on this, to show you guys how much I've been enjoying it, what kind of shooter you are, see if this serves a purpose within your tool set or collection, however you want to say it. For me, someone who's more of a recreational shooter than anything else, I absolutely love this ACR, just a little bit different from an AR-15, which I already have two of anyway. So I wanted something different anyway. So that's kind of how I approached this gun. And it has been performing way above my expectations. I'm very, very happy with it. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and start with what comes with it. In case you guys haven't seen the unboxing video, I'll go ahead and run through that very quickly. It came in, instead of a cardboard case, it kind of came in this harder case, outlined in that hard plastic with the foam inside. It wasn't like a pre-cut case or nothing like that. It wasn't terribly fancy. You could go to and from the range and use that case enough, but if you wanted to, I would recommend investing in a harder, maybe pre-cut case or something like that, or even a soft bag. I'm not going to be using that hard case, but at least Bushmaster gives you that, which is pretty nice. You obviously get a 30 round Magpul PMag, as well as a bag with some other components. You'll get the lock, the chamber clear lock. You get a little pamphlet, and then a Bushmaster sticker. So that's all you get, and also the handguard you see on here now is not the one that came with it. You could have bought it like that though. There's two different iterations for a handguard and a buttstock. The buttstock is a either advanced or standard. The standard one kind of is like the hollowed out one, non-folding, non-adjustable for length, but you do get this little pull back, up and forward. You get a little bit of comb height adjustment, just two settings on there, which this advanced one does have. This advanced one's a little bit thinner, doesn't take up as much real estate. Just looking here, you get 7-position adjustable. The only downside with this one, if I am going to have some constructive criticism, is you have to press it down on both the left and right side, so you're going to be using your thumb and index finger. And to pull it out, it's okay. Pull it back in, it's kind of an awkward motion. I like to rest it on my knee and kind of press it down and then force the rifle down onto it. It's kind of an awkward thing if you're collapsing it. But I like to keep it on the 7th position anyway. And what's not an awkward thing to do is just press one button on the left side with your thumb, and you can fold it. It doesn't lock in with any kind of locking mechanism, but it's not going to be coming out anyway, so you don't have to press another button to get it out. So it's pretty easy, and then obviously you don't have to press a button to get it in there. Again, you just force it in, you hear a nice click, and it's nice and solid. That's the advanced stock. Going to the advanced handguard, which mine came with, it is just a Magpul MOE look. It's on all polymer. That kind of sticks out a little bit further out here. I went ahead and got this one here in Coyote Brown. This is from Bushmaster themselves. At first I was going to look for a third party because I didn't think I could find the Bushmaster advanced handguard. But this just allows 3 more rails on the sides on the bottom here. And it's a little shorter as well, makes the barrel look a little longer. Overall, don't think there's much of a weight difference. The handguard, the advanced handguard itself, being made out of aluminum, is actually quite light. I was able to pick it up because it was on clearance for about $115, 122 shipped, from like Midway USA or USA Midway, whatever it was. But they have black ones as well for $160. So this was the Coyote Brown were on clearance, so that was nice. I was able to find them at that price. So it's cool to have both the polymer and the advanced. That kind of makes me want to get the standard stock, although I would never use it. But just to be able to have the full range of ACR, probably won't do that. But you know, it's cool that it is that adaptive, and it's meant to be even more adaptive, hence the name ACR, Adaptive Combat Rifle. What makes this gun very adaptive, other than a quick change stock to be adaptive to fold or a different handguard, is a quick change barrel. On the field strip, we'll get into that a little bit more, but It's adaptive as it is, but it was meant to be a little bit more adaptive. So far, we're not seeing any conversion kits to make this a 7.62 or anything like that just yet. I'm sure there's some third parties out there, but right now it's sitting as a 5.56, which I like it in this configuration anyway. But yeah, overall, just a very, very smart rifle. Like I said, modern iteration. A lot of time has passed since the first form of AR-15, and you kind of see a lot of those smart thoughts that come into this. One big thing is the fact that you can fold the stock versus an AR-15. You can't, because the whole buffer spring and the buffer will go recoil within that buffer spring. And so when I'm shooting an AR-15 with the hearing protection I use, all I hear after a shot is that pop and then just the rattling of the buffer spring. Whereas this, you could shoot it like old style Tommy gun by the hip if you wanted to. So that's kind of nice that you can fold it that way. Another smart thing is you can, on the AR-15, you obviously get that kind of awkward reach. I say awkward, but AR-15 is probably the rifle system I'm most confident with because I've spent the most time with it. But compared to this, it's an awkward, charging handle pull, versus this is obviously on the side. Being right-handed, I put it on the left side, and you can lock it using your index finger versus the little ping pong paddle on the side on an AR-15. And to release it, you could press down on that or just rack the charging handle again. But I could just press down with my index finger, and it goes forward versus slapping the gun on the side. Again, I want to say that's awkward only in comparison to the ACR. I just got so used to the AR-15. But I'll tell you what, put it this way, if the ACR came first, then the AR-15 came out after that, everyone would be wondering why things were located in awkward stages. But of course, you just get used to what you operate most often anyway. Like I said, me being a recreational shooter, bouncing back and forth between different guns, I'm okay with that. Magazine release, and obviously everything is all ambidextrous. Where I use my right index finger, you could do that on the left side as well. But yeah, also being ambi, you can see the fire selector from safe to fire on both sides, so that's very nice. You could just switch to left or right hand, so you could pass between different shooters. Magazine release, very intuitive from AR-15s on both sides right there. Other than that, more functionality. I think I covered all of that. But yeah, if you want to run this suppressed, it's actually pretty easy to change up the gas system here. Right now, it's on U for unsuppressed. Go ahead and press this button. You can rotate it to the S for suppressed, obviously. So that's very, very nice and easy to do. Put that back on unsuppressed. Comes with this nice flash hider as well, which I'm not too familiar with, but it looks like it's ready to take some kind of form of a QD suppressor. Don't know which one mounts on there. If you guys know, feel free to let me know. Kind of ran through the rifle very quickly. One thing I touch on very quickly doesn't really have anything to do with the review. I added this Magpul Sling. This one's the MS4 sling with the quick detach points, which is very nice. You have a quick detach point on the left side of the stock here, which you could throw that on the right as well. Continuing down, we see another quick detach point. If you wanted to run a 3-point sling right before the handguard, or right at the beginning of it, and at the very end of the handguard on the end of the rail system, you have another QD point. So it runs this MS4 sling very well. I have an EOTech 512. I actually bought this on Amazon for less than $400. I paid like $360 for it. And right now the EOTech 512, the AA battery variant, you can get it right now for $399 with the $75 rebate, and it comes with the EOTech hat. So if you want that, link in the description. I actually recommend that. I put a Magpul MOE for grip right here. Other than that, that's about it that I've done to it. This is not a cheap rifle. One thing I forgot to mention is I got this on Bud's Gun Shop for it's just under $1,700 for the cash price. I think with without cash price, I ended up paying about $1,740, which is the price of at least two very decent, very nice AR-15s. And honestly, I wouldn't say that this is twice as good as an AR-15, but if you already have an AR-15 or 2 or 3, it's worth having something different. Now, this does perform very well. If you put a standard Bushmaster AR-15, which I own, and this Bushmaster ACR told me to forget about price, I would actually pick this thing up. It feels a lot more quality. It feels more expensive. I held guns that are expensive for nostalgic reasons, and they don't feel like you get your money's worth. When you pick this thing up, it feels quality. When you shoot it, it feels quality. Someone who is familiar or unfamiliar with firearms, I've had both of those type of people shoot this gun, and both of them are more impressed with it than an AR-15. Again, you don't have to be a gun person to just hold this, look at it, and know you're dealing with something a little bit more special. But anyway, let's talk about the next video I did. The next video was an accuracy report. Now, that's going to go and talk about another problem that I have with this gun, but it's obviously a fix. It's just a expensive new trigger. But the trigger on this is very heavy. Now, if you're just going to be running an EOTech like this, or non-magnified sights, you're not trying to get precision shooting, a heavy trigger is okay, but I'm just a trigger snob. I have a couple precision rifles. I got a two-stage trigger on my, a LaRue two-stage trigger on my Arrow Precision M4E1. So I just become a trigger snob. And so when I get a heavy trigger like this, which is like 7 or 8 pounds from the factory, I'm just not a happy camper. So I would like to get like a Geisley two-stage, but they run like $240. With that said, let's talk about the accuracy. I was shooting at 100 yards. That's what this group right here is going to be. On the left, I was using 75 grain Botel hollow point from Hornady Black, this stuff right here. So yeah, on the left target, I had a really nice 4-shot group, all about an inch or so, and then I had that one flyer. That one group that's all within an inch or so would probably be better without the trigger, and the one that's way the hell up here is not on the fault of the gun. That was on me, and I was running a Leupold 3x9x40, which is a great scope, but at 9 times magnification at 100 yards, you could get great shots, but to get that precision shooting that I would like to get for a review, which is a different thing. When I'm just shooting around at targets, or I'm trying to actually get holes on paper for a review, it's a different thing. So yeah, you got these 4 shots and then this flyer. That would be significantly more consistent and tighter if I had a better trigger. If you look at the right, this is better, but not necessarily because the ammo. I probably just got warmed up a little bit more. But on the right is 77 grain Sierra Match King from Gorilla Ammunition. Now that is all within about an inch and a half, but if you take out the 2 flyers, look at that 3-shot group, that's where it really should be. So it's just easy to pull the shots with the heavy trigger. So yeah, I would like to get a better trigger, and once I do, I heard they go on sale around the holiday season. If that's true, then I'll just wait till then. But once I have a better trigger, I'll go ahead and throw a different magnified optic on here and go out and get some more groupings, because I am sure I could get that within an inch, which would be impressive for a 16.5-inch barrel. But like I said, 16.5 inch, it's a 1 in 7 twist, so it carries that heavy stuff very nicely, which we can see out to even 300 yards. What I have with me here is a 300-yard target. This was shot with the 77 grain Sierra Match King. This is a 5-shot group, all about 3.5 or so inches. Haven't measured this in a while. Let me go ahead and double check. I was wrong. That's actually 4 inches. But again, with a 9 times power scope, which is great. Like I said in that video, for real world applications, 9 times magnification, it's perfect. You could hit a hog at 600 yards or more, as we'll talk about, with 9 times magnification. But when I'm trying to shoot this little black dot at 9 times magnification at 300 yards, I couldn't even see the black dot. I was just going for like center of white paper. So with that said, 5-shot group is actually all within the palm of the hand. That's pretty good for the setup I had, which was a really tough trigger and 9 times power. If I had a better trigger and like a better test subject scope, that could all be within 3 inches. I'm just assuming based off what I'm seeing so far. So I hope you guys can believe me, and it should be easier to believe me when we go to the next video, which was the long range. 250 yards, 5 quick shots, didn't even take my time with them, hit a small plate, or a decently small plate, very nicely. I wasn't going for groupings, just going for hit, 5 out of 5. Go to 500 yards, I believe I got 4 out of 5. That one that I missed was, if I remember correctly, if I'm thinking of the right target, that one I missed was just me rushing the shot. I was just kind of overconfident. But anyway, 500 yards on a steel plate, super confident with that as well. And on all of this, I was using 75 grain Hornady Black ammunition. Then we go out to 600 meters, which I believe is 656 or 657 yards. As I mentioned in that long range shooting video, I like to shoot before I get the camera rolling, just make sure I'm not wasting video and I'm on target. And when I was not recording, I got 4 out of 5 hits at 656 or 57 yards. And as soon as I got the camera rolling, I got like 2 out of 5. So that was just frustrating. I think I was just overconfident because I did so well just before then. But anyway, we go out to 750, and the proof is in the video. It actually handled 750 very good. Again, heavy trigger, running a 3x9 from Leupold. So with that said, I was able to hit majority shots on the smallest plate out to 750, which the smallest plate I think was still like 24 inches or so, so it wasn't like a dime-sized target by any means, but it just shows you the potential on the gun, which, is very high in potential, just being what it is, being a folding stock 16.5-inch barrel, and I was able to lay them out at 750 very confidently, and that's as far as I shot. So that shows you the potential on this rifle. If you want to see all those videos in their own independent ones, I will link them at the end of this video if you guys care about certain subjects like that. But anyway, I ran through, I covered all the videos again. I talked about all the functions of this thing, how much I love it, because I really do like it. But what I haven't done yet is just a quick field strip. So I said we go ahead and do that to show you guys how it compares to an AR-15, if you guys are familiar with that. So go ahead and put it on the table here. We'll go ahead and field strip it. I'm just going to do a light demonstration on field stripping it to kind of just get it field strip enough to you guys can see the comparison with the AR-15. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to go ahead and remove the sling here. Go ahead and remove the magazine. make sure it is clear. All right, now, just like an AR-15, you have the takedown pin here and here. Now this one has two, here and here. This is how, if you were just gonna replace the stock, go ahead and push these two out, top and bottom. Already got the first one going here. Gonna get the bottom one. There we go. And then just like an AR-15, you can split it like this. And if you're gonna change the stock, now is the time to do it. You could just go ahead and pull this up, and then we could put that to the side. We could get the new one, slide it right in there, and then clamp it down again. But we are done there. Go ahead and get this one out as well. If it takes a little bit more force, you could use a bullet's tip, which we'll use on a different one, but this one seems pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and put our lower off to the side as well. Now we're left with the upper, and to remove the bolt carrier group, you can go ahead and get the charging handle a little bit, but it is connected to the lever here. So what you have to do is make sure that you put this all the way forward until you click it to where it's locked in. You hear that click, and then that should fall out on its own. So there's your bolt carrier group. And to get rid of, or to disassemble this even further, you can see that there's a little horizontal and then a slanted line. You go ahead and poke this through, then rotate it, and then line it up. And then that falls through, so there's your bolt carrier group. And then there's that. And then to disassemble this even further, to go to the quick change barrel, go ahead and take down this pin right here. If that takes a little bit more force, then you might have to use a bullet tip, just like this. Rest it right on in there, hammer that down a little bit. And then it's enough to pull that on the other side. And this will go forward a little bit. You just gonna have to keep shimming it down. And then there you go. So there is, if you want to change out for the polymer one, you'll go ahead and, because this has the cover on it, go ahead and slide it this way. And then there you go, back to the polymer. But I'm gonna keep the advanced on there. Now as for the quick change barrel, I don't know why, I always kind of thought it would be very, very hard and torquey to remove because it is a barrel on a rifle like this, but it's actually not at all. Go ahead and take down this lever to give you better leverage. You have this little plunger here. Once that's pressed all the way, you can just go ahead and twist this to the right. That releases this nut. Once that's free, this will just pull right on out. And then there is that. So what you're left with here is just obviously your upper, pretty plain right there. And then we get this. If you wanted to, you could further disassemble the rod and spring by rotating this, but I'll go ahead and keep it like that. But there it is, the barrel. You could also further disassemble this by depressing that through. You could even use the control switch to use that as a pin. So it's kind of neat the way they design that. And you could get pliers, pull this out, release the bolt in the firing pin. So yeah, there is all of that. To put it back together, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is lined up the right way. Go ahead and make sure it is upwards. This can be down, but I won't reassemble. So go ahead and make sure that's that way. Push it through, then make it horizontal, and then there you go. Now we'll set that off to the side for now. Go ahead and reinstall the barrel. Make sure that this rod is obviously facing up. Just make sure that is seated all the way, just like that. And then you go ahead and line this up right there. And then with your thumb, you're going to want to press down that little plunger just to ease it in, and then torque it in like that, and then pull that up, and then it is nice and locked on there. And from my experience, I have not lost point of aim, or it hasn't shifted anyway when I have done that. Now we're going to go ahead and get the handguard on there. This little notch right here, make sure that's going this way. So with this one, not the polymer one, because this is free on top there, just go ahead and place that upward like this, and then slide it backwards. Just like that. You might have to move it around a little bit, make sure that pin will line up. Just like so. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the bolt carrier group. That little groove right there, it's like on rails. Make sure that this pin's all the way out, and that will slide right on in. Make sure that's tucked in. And then that is now reconnected with the charging handle. Make sure that, like I said, is all the way in to allow the rest to go in. Now we're going to go ahead and put the lower up there. Going to go ahead and re-clamp in the front pin. Now the stock can go right on in. Clamp it down, put them all together, and then there you have it. I'll go ahead and put my sling back on. So there you go. Not a full breakdown and disassembly, but enough of a feel strip to where you guys can get a comparison, or at least enough to maintain it and clean it. But this was just made for you to get a comparison between an AR-15 and maybe some other rifles. Very, very smart system, very easy, and not hard to learn. So overall, I really do enjoy even cleaning this gun, because I see how much thought went into it. So anyway, there you guys have it. I'd imagine this is probably going to be a somewhat lengthy video, not only doing like a new review, but also combining the last 4 videos and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. Maybe learned something out of this, or just kind of reconfirmed what you thought or already knew about the ACR. Like I said, love this gun. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Hopefully it'll stay with me for a very long time because I am enjoying it that much. As far as future plans with it, I'm not too sure. I will obviously continue to be making videos with this on this channel, just blinking around and all of that good stuff. But as it sits, the setup, I really do like it. The EOTech fits it well. Maybe I'll get like a swivel down magnifier from EOTech or Vortex or something like that, just to get 3 times magnification with this setup. But anyway, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.